Hello viewers, this is Blessing on Africa Web TV, and today I'm so very excited because I have a beautiful, fashionable lady sitting right beside me. She is Mariana Verkerk. You might probably know her. She has lived in New York for about 30 years. She has worked as a model. She is the current catwalk coach for Holland's Next Top Model, Benelux Next Top Model. She has worked with Norway's Next Top Model, and Mariana, that is quite a mouthful. Like, welcome first of all.
Thank you.
So
yes, it is a mouthful.
How do you combine all these roles and responsibilities, and how do you do it actually?
Well, they're all kind of the same thing. Holland's Next Top Model, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Scandinavia. So yes, I do 5 countries, which is a lot of fun. Yeah.
So you're here again in Amsterdam?
Yeah.
And you come yearly, I believe?
Oh, I'm here a couple of times a year at least.
Really?
Yeah, I'm here probably 4 or 5 times a year. But I'm here because we are organizing the model convention for the 8th time. So I need to do press and everything.
So I just mentioned that you have worked as a model for over 20 years.
Oh yeah, way over.
And that means that you started in the 90s. I want to talk a little bit about the evolution that the modeling industry has experienced from then, because right now you're still at the top of the game, even when at that time you were a supermodel, and now you're still in the industry. How much change do you think have occurred?
Well, I started in '85 and it was extremely different. The sizing was different. The girls were a little bit bigger. Now girls are extremely skinny. You know, they're a size 2 or a size 4. When I worked, you were a size 6, basically. Some girls were a size 8. Nowadays they call that plus size modeling, which is pretty funny. There was also a big division between, you had runway models, so mannequins, whereas they say you're catwalk models. In the US we call it runway. And you had print models. And that all merged, you know, so but basically everybody is doing both nowadays, and it used to be a big division. So yeah, things have changed a lot, absolutely.
So why do you think people now prefer skinny models now in comparison to before?
There's always a designer that all of a sudden makes that statement, and then everybody follows because, you know, people in fashion are a little bit like sheep, I must say. You know, at one point it all becomes the same. They all copy each other, or a lot of them do. The whole world blames us for anorexia and bulimia and all that stuff, which is, you know, I think not exactly correct. If you have bulimia or if you're anorexic, you cannot work in the modeling business. You have to be healthy, you have to be strong enough. And I think by now we know that most of those diseases are mental diseases, you know, something in your head. But we're still getting blamed for it, so.
Okay. And still talking about evolution, I want us to focus on dark-skinned models. I don't know how it was in your time in the 90s, because I remember growing up and watching people like Naomi Campbell, Vance, Ella Weck, and Waris Diria, even from Somalia.
Yeah.
And for me, it was really normal to see these dark-skinned models. But nowadays, I believe that it is becoming more and more difficult for them. The whole space is becoming so narrow for them. So I want you to tell us a bit about why the change, why the shift in possibilities for them.
Well, I don't quite agree with you. I live in New York, as you know, and if I watch TV nowadays, and I'm not talking about fashion models now, I'm talking about commercial models that do commercials on TV. I see so many black people, and I think part of that is because we have Obama, that made a whole big shift in you know, what people perceive as something they want to be. So of course we have a black president. So if I watch TV in US, seriously, I see they use a lot of black models for commercials.
How about editorials? How about fashion?
Fashion changes all the time. I mean, you know, at one point you had a lot of black girls on the runway, and now it's little again. I don't know why that shift is. I don't really know. Personally, to me, the color doesn't really make any difference. To me, it's all the same. People are people, that's all I can say. So for me, it's not something that I really that I'm really thinking about all the time. But you are right, now that you said it. At the moment, there are less black girls than there used to be. But I think, in general, people react to buying power. So if you buy, they gear towards you. That they pinpoint you because they want to reach you, and then they have the idealized version of you on TV. That's advertising, right? Supply and demand, we call it. So I think the black community has made an incredible growth, not financially, economically. So I think there's a lot of power. There are a lot of black designers now, in the US anyway. So I think there you do see that's happening. I think there's a change.
Okay, and how do you see that also during the model convention that you've been holding now for close to 8 years, if I'm right?
About 7 years.
7 years. So what is the percentage of dark-skinned models to white-skinned models? What's the ratio?
If there's 1,000 black people in front of my door, we're letting everybody in, and we're not making that decision. Agencies do. And of course, the beauty about the model convention is that it's not only Dutch agencies, because that is limited. We have people from the United States. We have LA, which is the United States, but that's the movie world, right? We have England, France, Germany, Italy, Asia, and all these markets have different groups of models that they're looking for, whether they're Asian or Caucasian or black. It doesn't really matter, they just know what their market is. So the great thing about the model convention is Holland is limited. I think it is at the moment. So I think the great thing about the model convention is that you have exposure to all these other markets, and all these markets are different. Truth is, Paris was one of the first countries to really use a lot of black models on the runway, because there was never this big stigma that was in the United States, where you had, people sitting separate in a bus and black and white, and God knows, black people couldn't go to the same schools. It was not mixed, it was separated.
So, Mariana, what are your plans for the future? What should we be expecting from you in the near future?
Well, I have been going to China a lot recently. I am organizing fashion shows, being the fashion director, which I love to do. I was just in the Dominican Republic. There's a lot of Miss contests that go on all over the world, where I also organize the shows and everything. I like to travel, so I always try to find things that are somewhere else, so I get to go places. So right now, I've been in China twice this year. The Dominican, I still do Holland. I don't know if there will be a next Holland Next Top Model. I don't know. I still want to write a book. I would like to design some clothes.
Oh, really?
Modeling clothes. Specific outfits that are simple, that are foolproof, where you always look great, that are for tall people, because that's always our issue. I can never find pants that are long enough, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. So I have lots of plans.
Okay. So we should just keep our fingers crossed and...
Yep, keep following me.
Okay, we'll definitely do that. Before we go, actually this morning, to be honest, while I was getting ready to come speak with you, I was thinking, well, I'm gonna be talking with the queen of catwalk. There is no way I'm gonna let you go without getting some lessons from you.
Oh boy!
So you're gonna give me some tips, some walking training right now.
Shall we go in the hallway and find a little shall we find a little catwalk?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I always start with posture.
Okay.
So in other words, you pull your shoulders back and down, right? Stomach, tighten your muscles there, even if you don't have a stomach. Models don't have stomach, but you have to tighten the muscles. Then you tighten the muscles on your thighs a little bit, right? And then you stand as tall as possible.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people, when they pull their shoulders back, their head is still at the old position, because if you always walk like this, you pull your shoulders back, you look weird. So you gotta open all this up to the sky, and stand straight. Okay, so your head comes with you. All right, that's one. Now,
am I standing awkward? I feel awkward actually.
You do?
How am I standing?
You look beautiful. Shoulders back. Yeah. Stomach. Yeah. You don't have a stomach. Looks good. That's normal.
And this is not
too prominent? Well, women have breasts. There's nothing I can do about that. And that's part of it, but no, it does not look,
No, okay.
it looks normal actually.
Okay.
It looks weird when you do this. This is a normal, this is how everybody should stand. And it's not only for the runway or for the catwalk. If you want to find a job, it's better if you have good posture than when you come in like this high. I'm applying for a job, you know? I mean, if you're open, people think you're more confident, and self-confidence is very important. So always stand tall. It's very important. If you walk on the street, you walk with your feet next to each other, right? Which is normal. But on the catwalk, we walk with our feet in front of each other. Yeah? That is because we want to make our hips swing a little bit. This is what we do. A lot of people think we walk with our shoulders. We don't. Really, this is still, always. All we do is move our legs. And because we move our legs in front of each other, as you can see, I'm riding a bicycle almost now, right? It's a fluid movement. But instead of going straight with my knees go in. See that? And that's something a lot of people know. Only the bottom part, not the top part of your body, right? Okay, so this is how we walk. I step and I step. See, my knee always goes in and my foot follows. That's the shortest way to put your feet down. So I don't walk swinging my legs. It goes boom, short, right? And one foot in front of the other. That's how you walk. This will make your hips move. And that's nice. And depending how much you cross your feet, like for instance, if I have a very, very, very tight skirt without a slit, you still have to move. The way a model moves it is by completely stepping over because you don't have enough space to put your leg out. So we really step over, and that's how we get to the end of the runway, right? That's a little tip that we have. Our arms, we just let them hang by our side, totally relax it. When you walk, they will move with you, your hands. You don't have to give them an extra swing. You know, you don't have to walk with a lot of people start marching.
I think the reason some people match is because they get the idea of I have to be fierce, I have to be tall.
Yeah, but fierce doesn't really come from walking faster or stamping your feet more. Fierce comes from your face. Fierce is from your soul. That's what you feel inside. The moment you can portray what you feel, express what you feel, you can see that in someone's face. That's, you know, the eyes are the mirror to your soul, right? So passion, which is why you become a great model, is what you can see in someone's face. It's what you think, and that's how you put your feet down.
So you should also be able to act actually.
Yeah, you have to understand what you wear, absolutely. And you have to understand clothes. If I show something, I'm aware I have a suit on, right? So I know I want to show a suit. If I wear a dress, I pose completely different. If there's a bow on the back of my dress with a low-cut band, I know that that's important, and I will make sure that I show that detail. I will show the back, but I will also show my face because that's what I'm getting paid for. So you really have to think about what you do. I mean, it's not just standing there. You know, nobody free. No, standing there being pretty doesn't work. No. You have to think, you have to have a mind, and you have to know things. Just like any other job. People think, oh, I'm brilliant and do moral. No, it doesn't work like that. Do your homework, know who all the photographers are, know who Richard Avedon is. For instance, do your homework. It's very important. You can go to a library and figure that out. Online nowadays, you can find everything. Anyway, so stand straight, tall, shoulders open, like I said. You know, pull up those muscles a little bit on your thighs, and put your feet in front of each other. Go ahead, I'm watching. Go. That's much too casual.
Yeah?
Okay. Don't swing your arms so, you know, your arms literally go like this. I want you to relax. I want you to just flow with your body. Okay, it's not like boom, boom, boom. All right, don't hang. Okay, so take a longer step. Yep. You started over there, you ended over there. You're gonna walk a straight line. Did you drink? Watch your posture. Keep that body tight the whole time. Really, you know, engage your muscles. All right. Are you ready to go? Let's start with our right foot.
Okay.
Ready? Let's go. Calm. much slower now than you were when you were walking alone. That's because you have that bigger step. In order to move your hips, you can't walk as fast because you can't finish that movement. Do you ski by any chance?
No, I don't.
Okay. Now in skiing, you also have to finish your turn, otherwise you can't do it. It's the same thing. If I move my hips, I can't walk fast because then I'll be walking like this.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. In your brain to think that you are on the Victoria's Secret catwalk. Give it to me. It's funny how it changed the way you walk. Because all of a sudden you like,
That's true.
switched.
I saw myself with the feathers
And the feathers and the ha-ha. And Jay-Z standing next to you singing. It's fabulous, right?
It has some mental, psychological thing going there. Like, okay.
They all want to be on the catwalk. Anyway, so the visualization is really important. Like, what am I doing? Because I can teach you all the technical stuff. That's easy. But what I need is the passion, the drive, the vision. You know, it's like, oh, I'm on the Yves Saint Laurent catwalk, and I'm wearing a beautiful $15,000 gown, $80,000, whatever it is. It's couture. Wow, right? And then all of a sudden, I'm on Adidas catwalk, and it's sporty. So I feel completely different because I have sneakers and everything changed. So all of those things you have to keep in mind, but you always have to have your body ready. The basic posture that I gave you, you always have to have it. So you can never walk like this. It's always everything open, shoulders open, you know, and open to the world. And then you go into your venture, and then you think about, what am I wearing? What am I showing? What am I doing? Now is it a little dress, or am I wearing a suit? And what do I want to show of that suit?
All
right?
Okay, thank you very much.
Pleasure, Blessing.
All right, so I mean, this has been a fabulous experience. I mean, she has trained over 200,000 people, and I am now officially on the list. So
200,001.
that is so cool. So viewers, thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is youtube.com/RepTVAfrica. And please, girls, come out and register online.
themodelconvention.com. If you want to become a model, seriously, this is your chance to meet all the agents. It's just the way it is.
All right, so thanks for watching. See you again next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.